We are recording the second time tonight because, well, we're off our hiatus and we might as well record two maps instead of one. Um, Last map we just did was called Last Call. Now, first impressions, guys. What'd you think about it?
I'm confused why it was called Last Call.
I'm a little confused by that too.
Also confused by the castle and the airship, but because nothing we were in really pointed to castle and airship beforehand. I feel like this was someone came up with the idea of a finale, but then didn't know what to do for the rest of it.
Alright. Do you have anything to say, Dread?
Nah.
Alright. I agree. It's why is it called Last Call? I just don't understand. What does it have to do with Last Call as a name? As for the castle and airship, specifically the airship, that they don't look right, especially if you're trying to set us in a castle. First off,
because I mean, we got there by what? By crossing trains and going through town.
Well, it could have been a historic building, but even at that, it was still confusing. It didn't look. The castle looked quite bland, in fact.
It wasn't really. It was made using in-game textures. When you make a castle, you really need to either use higher quality textures.
Yeah. On top of that, the airship, of all things, I mean, considering that it was supposed to be modern day and that the castle was gated off and there's a security guard office and all that stuff, you would think that
you should have been captured by a helicopter.
Yeah, you would think you'd have a helicopter, not so much a freaking airship.
Which wasn't all that well textured in and of itself.
Yeah. I'll give kudos for using an airship instead of a helicopter. You just wanted something.
I think this is the second time I've ever seen that done.
Well, the first time was a complete bullshit map. It didn't even work. It took forever.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that map because that's even worse than our standard map, which... Oh my god. Anyway, I'm gonna move on. 5 stars max, 1 star minimum. Number of infected Kyo. There was over 1,700 infected that we killed in that map, but I imagine there was more that we just said fuck off too.
Yeah.
What do you think about the number of infected?
I'm feeling 3/4. That's what my gut is telling me.
All right.
And thinking about it, that sounds about right.
All right. Dread, number of infected.
It was kind of meh. It was a little high, but not too much, so I'll give it a quarter.
Just a quarter?
There were a lot of specials.
Alright. Okay. I'll give it a full star. I actually thought it was just right. Like, I didn't have too much of a problem dealing with them. It was balanced. The only time I have a problem really was on that castle, because that's where you had to go through them just to get to the airship, and that's where all the tanks were and all the specials were and all that stuff. So yeah, I had no big amount of problem against them. Was it a little on the high side? A little bit, but not enough for me to take it down a quarter or anything like that. So moving on to length. Anybody see that in the stat?
I didn't look.
I wasn't paying attention to length.
It was like 40-some minutes.
For a 4-parter, that's not bad. Gil, what'd you think about the length of this campaign?
Yeah, it was fine. I gave it a full set of length. It didn't overstay its welcome, and it didn't understay it.
All right. Good.
I give it 3/4 because it was dragged out to me.
Well, you're dead a lot of the times too. I'll give it 3/4 as well. It did kind of had some parts where it felt like it was dragged out. Um, could have been shortened. Could have been. The paths could have been more. Could have been a little more obvious, or maybe less obvious. Make it more challenging than the path would have been fine. The timing would have been fine. Either way, you could have gone. But yeah, it was length because most of it was quite bland. It just wow, we're just running the way it's so linear that it's too easy in a sense. So yeah, moving on to difficulty. Kyo, what'd you think?
Difficulty. See, it was quite a bit special infected, I would say. Maybe just a couple too many at the same time here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it 3/4.
All right, Dread.
I give it half.
Any particular reason why?
To me, there were a lot of specials.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
I'll give it 3/4. This doesn't, again, it's not the specials, it's not the common or problem to me. I thought the reason it was is it was a little bit on the easy side of things. Like, we were breezing through it pretty fucking well. And we were even fucking around by killing each other. That being said, it was very straightforward map. There really wasn't a whole lot to it. Almost every turn we found, there was at least something we could use. Like either it could be a handgun or some bit of health or ammunition or whatever. And really, the only problems I had was it was just a little lengthy. That kind of dragged out, made it difficult in some ways. And then you had the finale, where the only time it really got difficult is when the airship started coming. That's when you blocked the whole path with, well, a wall of infected and tanks. Three of us died in that finale, and I barely made it out. If I didn't make it out, we would have to restart that whole fucking part again. That being said, I'm gonna move on to design and let Kyo take over. I'll continue mine. So, design, Kyo, what'd you think?
Design. Well, there was some ideas here. I don't know. The castle just still feels out of place along with the airship.
Okay.
Something still kind of bothers me though. I'll give it half a star. It has its moments, but yeah.
Okay. Fred.
That castle did not look good.
That's all you're gonna say?
I'll give it like half.
Thank you. I'm gonna give it half, and there's a little bit more to what I'm gonna say. Yes, the castle's bland. The airship's out of place. That's two things I have a problem with it. The third one is its name. What the fuck is a good name for this? That isn't Last Call. I mean, Last Call is just. What does it have to do with this map? It does not. The map doesn't really have much of a theme outside of it being dark, have a haunting kind of theme to it at first.
It felt like it was trying to be a horror map, yeah.
It was trying to be, and all of a sudden it just fell apart. Like around part 3, I didn't feel the horror vibe anymore. And then, of course, you have the part 4. And then, of course, part 4, we start out, we're outside the safe room. We're literally outside of that safe room. We're not in it. I don't know if that was intentional. We're all 4 of it. There's a train moving. It's really, really weird. It does have ideas. The castle is an idea. The airship is an idea. I'm not going to deny that.
It's just all they
It's
doesn't.
it
You're
doesn't
hammering things
belong.
together.
Yeah, it doesn't quite belong. That's the first major thing. The second thing is you had some decent starts. We're in an airport or a train station, I think it was, because trains we came out to. And you had symphony music. You had that slow mo effect, and you used that twice, and that was pretty cool. The second time had no bearing and needn't be there. But it was kind of cool that I made a jump in the air and I turned around, shot a zombie in the head, and I seen the slow motion effect of it exploding. That's pretty cool for me. But outside of that, um, some places don't need that slow motion effect, and that was one of them. That was at that house. The first time we had it, that's fine, and you had that music. Custom music was nice. The symphony. Um, you did have that horror aspect at the start, but then you lost sight. You just kind of lost sight of what you were trying to accomplish, and that was right near the end. Part three kind of started it. It had a chance, but it stopped right there, and then it just fell apart at the fourth one, the finale. You need to work on that. You need to add new textures, because that castle is fucking bland, and I mean bland. There's nothing good looking about it outside the fact that it's built. Um, the airship, I'm thinking that you just wanted to have something different other than a helicopter, which is good and all. I appreciate the thought, but it's out of place. It is incredibly out of place. It does not fit, and outside of it looking okay, it looked better than the first one you've ever seen, and it arrived faster. It was just, it didn't belong. Same with the castle. It doesn't really belong unless it has something to do with the name. Uh, Other than that, yeah, it's just a half star. It's got some ideas, just doesn't implement them very well. And this brings us to recommendations. Kyo, do you recommend this map as it is?
No, I wouldn't. It's. I don't know. It just doesn't feel entertaining enough for that.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, for our own entertainment, we had to kill Dread and Chernobyl and blame Chernobyl. For those of you who do not know what we are talking about when it comes to Chernobyl,
Watch the video be uploaded before this one.
yeah, watch the review and go through its entirety. At the very end, you'll find out. Moving on, Dread. Do you recommend this map as it is?
No.
Okay. I don't either. Second map for tonight that we do not recommend as is, which is a first. I don't think we've actually done double like that for a long time, if we have. My reasoning we don't recommend it is it starts off very well, and it just drops in quality.
Halfway through, it just loses what the first half had.
Yeah, the first half was just enjoyable. It was kind of nice. Textures were beautiful. It was well placed, and then you just fell apart. Like you lost your train of thought, and you decided to go with a whole new idea at the end of it. My recommendation for the creator: change the name. Last Call just does not fit. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish, and if it has anything to do with that castle, explain. Because really, I have no idea why it's named it. The second thing is switch out the airship. It really does not belong, and especially in a postmodern era, there is hardly any airship in existence. If there is, it's the Goodyear blimp.
And no one cares about the Goodyear blimp.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's an airship form. There is no airship that people can ride. The third thing is stick with one theme. Because this thing had it seemed like it had two themes you were trying to accomplish and put them together. doesn't work that way. You had the first one which had this horror vibe, and it was almost psychological. And the second part, you just had, let's go kill zombies and go random places. You see what I'm trying to get at? It doesn't work. For example, if you want to stick with a horror, Haunted Forest is our best one that we say for horror because it looks good. It goes well within its theme. If you want to run and gun, kill zombies, and that's it, what's a good map that we can recommend to him looking at that?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, that is because they're just going through the ride, killing zombies, and you have the option. It doesn't mean
you can turn the zombies off
by not opening the fucking door. But those are just examples of what you could try to do. But if you're gonna do the run and gun thing, at least make it pretty. At least take your time to make it explorative, not so linear. And have fun with it. I mean, the way you had the horror thing, that was fine. You could have just went through the entire map by doing that. By cutting it off about halfway through it, you kind of threw us off, and it lost what it had. It had some innovative ideas, such as the raft. That was a cool idea. Problem is, it has nothing to do with horror. It can have something to do with horror, but it just didn't feel like it had it. And maybe it's your first time, maybe it's just trying to figure out what your idea is. We're not seeing it. I think it's just that you had it run and gun, and that's how you started with, and it ended that way. But you had a horror aspect to it that made it work for a bit, and just kind of fall apart. So try to take a look, see what you can do, change it up, and the name by hand. Just change that name. It does not fit at all. Anyways, I forgot in the last video. Like, comment, subscribe to our videos. We enjoy it. Without, of course, I wouldn't be normally saying this because Meta's not here, but that's because Meta wanted to play Civ 5. And to the creators, post me personally, post Keo personally. If you want to comment on our videos, please do. To our viewers and subscribers, please comment, like, share. Just try to get us out there. We would like a lot more people to view our content so we can do like the Let's Plays that we have. Last couple, every time we did a live stream of it, haven't been too populated. So all in all, we want some more viewers. We want to keep it going. We want to make it enjoyable for you guys. It's your entertainment. We're trying to make it better for you. And please, if you have a problem with what we're doing, with whether it's this review or if it's the Let's Play and it's just being boring, point it out to us. We want to know. We need feedback for that reason. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the playthrough when Keo puts it up. I hope you enjoyed this review, and see y'all later.